Hello and welcome back to the Let's Talk Horse Business Podcast with me, George Betson, the equestrian business strategist and founder of Thoroughbreds Equine Transport. On today's show, we're going to be doing something a little bit different, and I'm going to be giving you an insight into what's been going on for me in the past couple of weeks. But it's not about me, it's all about how this can also help you. Now, you didn't come this far to just come this far. Have you thought about that? There's always a moment where every equestrian business comes to a point and you realise, is this business building something that frees you? Or is this business building something that drains you? Well, the truth is, you don't need another to-do list. You need a strategy, you need a system, and you need a story worth following. And that is what we're here to create together. So, before we dive into this episode, I want to take a moment to say thank you. Because the support and the overwhelming direction of this podcast has been overwhelming. So to every single person that's tuned in, that's followed us, engaged with us on social media, shared an episode with friends and family, messaged me on socials, or quietly listened whilst mucking out your stables or driving to your event or your next client. Thank you. Because it's for you and it's you guys that has made the podcast what it is today and where we're going in the future. So far, we've reached over 40,000 downloads, 10,000 subscribers, and that's not including the social media interactions, clips, and engagement that we've received on there. So again, thank you. It really is a dream come true. When I started the podcast, I had no idea if anyone would listen. But here we are today with listeners across the world, UK and beyond. I've also been so lucky to have special guest speakers such as Tarzan Hughes, Julie Hogbin, and just to name those two alone is incredible. But we've also had Evie on the topic of empowering change. We've had Jenny Bush, one of my first guests, about equestrian business. The list goes on. And I'm so lucky and proud and pleased that I've been able to bring some of their stories and insights to you. And I really hope we can continue to doing that moving forward. But if you're new here, welcome. I'm George Betson, and I'm an equestrian business specialist, founder of Thoroughbreds Equine Transport, and a public speaker, helping equestrian professionals grow profitable, sustainable businesses without burnout. Whether you're running a yard, a coaching business, a transport company, or something really unique, this podcast is absolutely for you. You're not alone in your journey, and let's go deeper. Let's go together, and let's continue engaging on this podcast to help everybody build a better, sustainable future. So as I said, I just want to be honest with you in this episode and start off with it as a bit of a journal entry because the past few weeks have been intense, and I want to be honest with you about this because sometimes people might think I talk about business and it's all la-di-da and happy-go-lucky, and it isn't always that way. And it can be that way, but it doesn't usually start that way. And the past few weeks, as I say, have been really, really challenging. For anyone who listens to us weekly, you might have noticed we skipped a podcast episode last week. Well, that wasn't an accident. It was absolutely due to what was going on behind the scenes, where I've been navigating one of the boldest business moves that I had made so lately. So what did I do? Well, over the past few weeks, I took a bit of a leap and took on 15 stables. Now, for those of you who don't know, my horse transport business is based in Newmarket, where it's thriving with thoroughbreds, horses, racing industry. And I saw a possible need for stabling during the sales period. And an opportunity arose where 15 stables were available. Now, it wasn't within my comfort zone. It wasn't my usual type of clients. It wasn't my usual discipline because for those of you who do know me, I'm very much more into the dressage side of equestrian space. But it was for the racing world. It was for thoroughbreds, holding them for international import and export on behalf of large international transport firms. And it was a huge risk. I took on stables when finances were tight. I took on stables when there was nothing certain about it. All I knew is there was a potential. I didn't have any clients ready to go. I didn't have a waiting list, but I had a vision. And the finances made sense. So the opportunity did align with my current business. And more importantly, having been through what I've been through and what I talk about a lot, I also had a system that I could go to guide me through the process. One thing that one of my mentors says is if you don't risk anything, you risk everything. And so when you think about it like that, it can do one of two things to you. But for me, it meant I went all in and I followed the process. I'd had weeks of planning. I created plans on how it would work, who I would need to speak to, where I need to go for it. I started to build messages to companies to try and find the sales. But most of all, I took a leap and I started talking to people who I didn't know yet, but knew they might need this service. Connecting with people is really one of the fundamentals with most businesses, because actually collaboration is way more powerful than competition. And what I found is it's the people that you know, not what you know a lot of the time. Maybe you resonate with that. Maybe you can see that in your own business if you think about it. And so talking to people became so important to grow this. And the results speak for themselves. Of the 15 stables, I'm very pleased that after the sales, I was fortunate enough, after all the work and worry I'd put into the whole program, because of course, even though I know things, it doesn't mean you don't still worry, because it's still a risk. But it's pleased to tell you today that 11 of the 15 stables were filled after the thoroughbred sales, which is incredible. There was one point weeks before this happened, I thought I'd plummeted money into something that I would never see a return on. Now that's a normal thought. All of us have these intrusive thoughts, even when there's a process. But I had a support network. I had a community which helped me to get through it. I had mentors which helped me get through it. And so I took it on, and I'm set to make an incredible return at the end of the period, which is still a few weeks away. But the essence here is I did it. But I want you to know this isn't about me, because I said this was journal entry, and that sort of is a big part of the entry. It's saying I had to let something else go that particular time because I was taking a leap forward and taking a risk with something else. But what this is really about is what is possible for everyone. Because I know some of you listening will be right at that edge. You'll be ready to grow, but terrified of the risk. You're ready for the step forward, but you're stuck wondering if you're the kind of person that can do it or how to go about doing it. So now I want to take you slightly further back. If you'd told me a few years ago that I would be hosting a podcast, coaching equestrian professionals, and speaking in rooms full of people like London International Horse Show, where I stood there and spoke to people for 5 days in person, I would have laughed at you. Or maybe I wouldn't have laughed. I would have shook my head and hidden again. Because I wasn't the loudest person in the room. In fact, I would stay quiet and try and stay unnoticed. I was the shy one, the quiet one, and I never thought of myself as a speaker. Or even a leader for that. There was a time where speaking just in a group felt terrifying, or speaking to just a couple of people in a particular settings would be terrifying. When confidence felt miles away. I wasn't born like this. I've built this. And it all started with the vision. Now, anyone who's followed me will know I've mentioned this many times. In fact, there might be an element of this in every episode where we talk about vision, direction, mission. Where are you going? And I don't want to harp on about it. But it's exactly why it's the first step in my RAINS system, which I've talked about for the past 5 or 6 weeks. It's not just a concept, it's everything. It's how I have built to where I am today, and it's a proven method that works. And that's why I keep bringing it to the table for everybody on the podcast. Because I had to see a better future, even when it felt like it was impossible or ridiculous. Even when I had no idea about how I was going to get there, I still had to see it. I had to believe I could build something bigger that gave me the freedom, the joy, and the impact that I was looking for, gave me the time and the money that I wanted, gave me the end goal that I've always dreamed of. Well, what's your dream? What's your end goal? The vision helped me to progress my transport business to where it is today, and it still does. Every step I take is due to the vision that I have. It takes time. There's no shortcuts, but there's definitely better ways and worse ways to do things. I never thought I'd be able to help other equestrian businesses, to start this podcast. Even when it all scared me, I still took the steps forward because of the vision. Was I ready for it? Absolutely not. I had many conversations with my mentors at the time. To do the speaking, I actually went through a 5-day intensive training program to get to the point where I could speak in a manner which people would converse with, understand, and connect with. And on day 4 of that, I'm not embarrassed to say now, but I nearly left and walked out due to the level of intensity I felt battling against my mind telling me that I couldn't do it and I wasn't good enough. Now, gosh, I am very pleased that I stuck it out. But my point is to you guys is I wasn't ready. But I took the first step anyway. I took another one and I took another one. And that is exactly how I managed to take on the stables. And I took on these next business steps over the past few months. And slowly, of course, when things scare you, when you start doing it and start creating a momentum, they start to scare you less. And now and then eventually they actually empower you because you're actually creating an impact and doing something that you really, really want to do. And all of this was how the RAIN system was created. All of this has been built in to the theory behind the RAIN system, but it is lived experience. It's not just a book with writing that's anyone could have conjured up. It's all through my own lived experiences. Now, for anyone who's new here today, I'll quickly just let you all know that the RAIN system is built up of 5 steps. R is about reframing and thinking about your mindset and business foundations. E is engaging with the right clients and the right messaging. I is all about innovating. How are you changing and moving forward with the current world? N, nurturing relationships, teams and staff. Teams and your customers. And S is all about scaling, structure, clarity, purpose, and how are you taking that to the next level. And if you're thinking right now, this sounds great, but it isn't, it's not me, well, please hear this. That was me. If I can go from hiding at the back of a room to standing on stages, leading a transport business, running a podcast, and helping and supporting other businesses, so can you. Whoever you are, whatever you do, I absolutely believe you can do that too. You can take hold of those reins and you can take those next steps because your growth has to start with your vision. And I'm here to help you build it. Now, I hope here what I've demonstrated is not only have I demonstrated my own journey as of late, but actually how I've got there. Because it isn't linear, but with the right connections, the right support and the right people, I have managed to do this in only a couple of years. It's changed my life. It's changed my perspective. And it's absolutely changed my mindset, which today is probably what I'm most grateful for in every situation. So why am I telling you all of this? Because, I started off saying it was my journal entry, and it very much is. But I've very much come across a number of incredible businesses and business people who also go through this sort of struggle. But it's not from a struggle of lack of passion, because most of us in the equestrian space are passionate about our horses. We really want the best for them. But they seem to struggle with overwhelm, with unclear systems, and with knowing what or who to ask first, or what to fix first, or what to do first. Again, all things that I've experienced and are built into everything that I talk about here on the podcast. And everything that most of our guests speak about also cover these points. That's why I built the podcast. That's why I created Reigns. And that's why I'm building the next phase of support. And because I believe our industry just doesn't need better businesses, it needs empowered leaders, people who are going to make change and make their lives and improve their quality of their life to therefore help more people. Because think about this. If I can help one person, and that one person can help one other person, I've now helped 2 people. And those two people can go and help another 2 people each. Can you suddenly see the compound effect? And that can happen in your business too. So what I say to you is, what if you weren't trying to figure this out all alone? What if you had the tools that worked, people who understood your challenges, and the systems that gave you time, not took it from you? What if this could be the start of a completely new chapter for you? Well, it absolutely can be. If you've been listening to us for a while, you must now be ready for more. Or maybe you're still toying with the idea of a new business venture. Maybe you've got a business and you haven't yet worked out what you need help with. Or perhaps you absolutely know you need help, which is why you keep coming back, but you're just not sure what the next steps are. Well, I want to invite you to the next level of support. Now, this is something I've been entirely advised not to put on my podcast because it's not designed for everyone. But I am absolutely doing you an injustice to not offer you further support outside of this free tool, because I can access so many free tools, but it was the network of people and other people around me that supported me that actually pushed me to make the change. And having run this podcast for a while, I believe now is the time to offer you something more. Every week, I've shared free actionable advice, either from top industry guests and experts, through to frameworks I've personally lived and built like Reigns. And to be quite honest with you, I just feel like I now need to offer you something more to do the justice to the podcast and to you to help you make those next steps and change. And because while I was listening is great, like I've already said, support can create change. Accountability creates change. Others around you to collaborate with helps to create change. And I know so many of you want change. In this equestrian industry, we are rife with people who want change. And having taken many risks myself and taken steps, I really want to help you change. So I've created a way that you can go deeper, a way that we can go deeper together. Now, this is not something that I'm going to be selling to you. This is not a sales for my program, because I do run a 12-week one-to-one program accelerator, which helps you transform your business over a 12-week period. A very hands-on program. And that for you, if you wanted to do that, is $2,997. But like I said, that isn't for sale here. That is only for specific clients who have specific needs, who are ready for proper, actionable, big change. But I want you to be aware of that as I go through this, because you can get a lot of the help that I give clients on that program through something totally different, accessible to everyone, and something that you can jump into right now without hesitation and still get huge results. So I'm going to be launching the Equestrian Business Membership. This is going to be ongoing support space through a well-renowned platform online. And this is designed for equestrian business owners alike, who want more structure, who want growth, who want strategy, who want support, and who want to mix with like-minded people and network with one another. Because I have harped on about this through this episode and many times before. Network and connections are exactly what are going to build a strong foundation for your business. But you've got to have the right structure in place. You have to have a growth plan and vision in place. You need to know what strategy to implement, and you need support to do that, because it's the support element which actually makes things happen. So what is this? Well, it's a new thing. And I'm launching it and bringing it to you here first. And this is the one and only time I will ever put this on my podcast, because I'm not here as a salesperson. I'm not here to put that forward throughout my podcast. What my podcast is for is free resources, guest speakers, and highlighting to you some of the best things and best advice to help you along your way. But if you would like to go to that next level, here's my one and only time that I'll do that. If you join this new business membership, you will get a private WhatsApp group for accountability and peer group support. You'll have monthly Zoom masterminds and coaching sessions with some of the best guest expert speakers who will run workshops also. Now, these guest expert speakers aren't just going to be equestrian businesses. They're going to be people who I get mentored by, people outside of our space who can bring key, actionable advice, help, tips, tools to you in your business. We're going to be bringing this space all of the behind the scenes content. Not only do you get the podcast episodes online, but you're going to get exclusive clips and takes out of those episodes just for you and my private community. In there, we're going to have templates and tools that you can implement immediately, download, give out, use for your own discretion. Easily accessible offers, downloads and frameworks. We're going to have all of our sponsors giving quality discounts and codes and support to the group as well. We're going to have Q&A time where you can come and talk and one-to-one or one-to-many and have your questions answered, advice given, and create a supportive space for your specific business questions. Now, if that doesn't sound incredible as it is, I do have a special offer again in this one and time only that I'm going to be putting this out on my show. And that is a founding members offer because I'm launching this for the first time and I want the best people, you guys, to be joining me on there. And if you're one of the first people to take one of those places, you're going to get that for £47 per month, but that is the only for 5 people. After that, it's going to be £97 a month. So please get in there and take it because I think everything that I've just told you, given everything I know and the support that we can all do together, it's well worth that price. But guess what? There's no catch. There's no long contracts and it's cancel any time. So it's £47 a month for the first 5, then £97 a month for anyone after that. So the action takers need to go and take it. But guess what? As I've already said, there's no catch, no long contract, cancel any time. But if you can't get a value out of that, then there's something seriously wrong. So for the first 5 people, it won't come back again. You'll get it at £47 a month. Now, why? Because this isn't just a group. It's a movement. I've gone away from saying this is a mentorship. This is a coaching program. No. This is a movement. I am here to help you create a movement in your life and in the equestrian business space. I'm not here just to dabble around with mentoring you, which is part of the program, but I'm calling it a movement because I want you to make moves, make change, make real meaningful change for you, your family, your communities, and yourself. And I'm going to reward all of the action takers with the offer that we have there. But also, there's one more thing which I haven't yet told you. For the first 3 of you, I'm going to give you a private one-to-one onboarding session where we'll map out your next 90 days of business. We'll find where you need help if you don't know where you need help yet. Or if you've got a new business, we'll go through how to build that from scratch. Now, that alone is worth hundreds of pounds. So for the first 3 of you, you're going to get that session. That's that. That is the program. That's me giving it to you there. It's down to you what you do with it. The offer will be available when this podcast goes live. There'll be a link in the show notes, but if you can't find the link, please find me on Facebook, Instagram or TikTok and DM me the word ready and I'll send you the details through and all of that from there. And really, I hope you can feel the passion I have for this. I'm not just creating a business network because they exist everywhere. I'm creating a movement for people who really want to shift this equestrian industry, really want to make difference to their own lives and help more people, whether that's in the livery space, in the coaching space, whether that's in saddleries or farrieries. All of these businesses can help more people in a way that helps you and helps your clients too. And that's exactly what we're here to do. So I want to leave you with this. From the shy guy at the back of the room to public speaker, podcast host, business owner and coach. This has been a huge journey and it's still very much unfolding as I take risks and see them pay off. Take risks and things don't go to plan. But that's okay, and that's all part of the honest true growth in business. But with the right support and network, which I have and I'm now offering to you, you too can get further on your journey quicker. I'm not special. I just keep showing up and being consistent with everything that we do. Your business can grow, your voice should be heard and can be heard, and your vision, well, it absolutely can be real. Never dream too small, dream bigger. Until next time, please ride smart, grab hold of those reins in the right direction, grow strong, and never forget why you started. My name's George Betson, the Equestrian business strategist, founder of Funchal Equine Transport, public speaker, and here to support you guys further on your journey. Please feel free to get in touch, but also please like, follow, or share this podcast wherever you're listening to it, because the bigger the podcast, the bigger the guests. The bigger the guests, the bigger the people and the companies that we can get involved, and the bigger they are, the more I can bring them to you. So please, show your love on the show, give us a review, give us a follow us on socials, let's connect, let's grow, let's build these businesses together. Cheers. Thank you very much.